Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have needed is Call of the Sea. This is not Call of Duty. So this game it is developed by a new developer team out of the blue. It is obviously an indie developer team, and like many indie developer teams, these guys are using Unreal Engine 4. So today I'm testing in here my MX130, which should be equivalent to the most GT 940 MX with GDDR5. And for the graphical settings, this game is pretty demanding, so I do recommend you to go with 720p using low settings. There is no custom options in this game, so you either select full screen, resolution, graphics quality, motion blur, and interestingly there is a field of view slider. Alright, so looking to the requirements, this game asks not much. So just an i3 CPU from the 3000 generation, 8 gigs of RAM, which I do think it should be recommended, not the minimum, and also an Nvidia GeForce 650. And, well, that's about it. So I only have tested one single setting in this game. So I tried with 720p low settings, the settings that you will be seeing me playing throughout the video. And well, these settings despite provided me an average above 30 frames per second, the 1% low was 20. The game spent around 23% of the time lower than 30 frames per second. If this was a shooter or something, that needed more response time, I would be honestly concerned about the performance, but since Call of the Sea it is mostly a story-driven game with puzzles along the way, I'm not really concerned, because you are not going to shoot any player, at least I do hope so, alright? I mean, you won't be shooting anyone on this game, as far as I know. So you don't really need high frame rates in order to play this game, but although I always try to get as close as possible at least of 30 frames per second, and that's why I decided to stay with those settings. So the good part about the low settings on this game is that you still get the full package. Yes, textures might not be very good, but I mean you still have shadows, you still have all the lighting effects including volumetric lighting. So yeah, the low settings aren't really that type of low settings which some games have, which looks entirely broken. No, low settings in this game still maintains the visual aspects, the art style of the game, so it's not really that bad. It's a good low settings, alright? It's just bad news that sometimes we get under 30 frames per second, but like I did told you, this is a story-driven game with puzzles, so you don't really need high frame rates in order to finish this game. So you could even play this game at 10 FPS if you ask me, but that wouldn't be comfortable anyway. So that's all about the performance on the MX130, but I mean, what about the game? Call of the Sea is essentially a story-driven puzzle game, so essentially if you don't care about puzzles or story inside the games, you can just save your money. But if you care about this type of games, and then according to Metacritic, which have the game scored at 79 from 0 to 100, it is a good game. Comments overall point for clever and nice puzzles and an emotive story and essentially a beautiful setting with very colorful world. As you can see, this beautiful island over there. For me, I admit, it's not really my type of environment. It seems too cartoonish. But this is just my own taste. If you like this type of environments, this should be actually a very good game if you like puzzle-driven games. Unfortunately, some people did point out that puzzles can be very easy, but so this might be a case of your mileage may vary. Many people also said that the Talos Principle was an easy game, and I had serious issues to try to finish the game. I did finish, but I admit at the first times I was really struggling with the puzzles. So the good news is that the game should last you around 5 to 6 hours, so it's not very big but not small. But I mean, what is really good is that the game is actually very cheap on Steam, so you can get the game at $19.99 This is their release price. I think it's awesome. But even a better news it is that if you want to buy the game now, you can go to Greenman Gaming. There is a link on the description of the video, and you can get a discount of 15%. So essentially you will be buying the game for $16.99. It's a free euro discount. I know it's not much, but if you really care about this type of games, this is super cheap and worth the money if you really care about this. I think there's nothing more to say about the game. It's like I did told, it's essentially a puzzle-driven game. The story is your character. It is looking for her husband in these highlands, and that's essentially that. And you need to go and you need to go progressing through the island to inside the island, solving puzzles in the process, and that's essentially that. So I think that's all I can tell. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
It's been years since I took such a long walk. This fresh air is doing me wonders. I can feel the air is denser here in this mangrove swamp. Rays of sunlight shining through. Another symbol. Now that I've crossed half the world, I wouldn't mind crossing the other half. But I have to do it with you, old pal. A bone fish hook. This sort of pond is a Polynesian fishing technique. There's another symbol inside it. Oh my, this is so beautiful. What were these birds called? Lorikeets. Cole's lorikeets. Polynesian chieftains make their head ornaments with lorikeet. There are lorikeet feathers scattered around this unu. I'll draw the symbol in my journal. A shortcut. That's convenient. What a beautiful mountainous landscape. This reminds me of those slot machines.